Turbo has just collaborated with Paal and market structure has followed my exact plan from last week. So let's discuss all of that in today's video. Hey guys, Foxy is Trading here, back with another crypto video for you guys, and we are back talking about Turbo meme coin. So they have a cool little new partnership for the community. Turbo just teamed up with Paal to launch TurboVision, an X-native image generator that creates stunning visuals just from tagging with a prompt. So let me show you an example of this right over here, right? This creator, artist, whatever, basically prompted of him as Turbo, drawing Turbo on a canvas and a bunch of turbos behind it. And now this is something that you can also create yourself. So is the partnership breaking, groundbreaking, world changing? No, but it is a cool little partnership for Turbo community to be able to tweet Turbo memes, Turbo things easier, cooler, with a cool little photo. So it's always good to see. I will never be hating on a partnership with a collaboration ever in my life, because every partnership collaboration gives strength to a project. Now let's get into the juicy things, which is price and market structure. Looking at coin market cap first, 62% in the last week, 36% up in market cap, 227% up in volume in the last 24 hours. People are buying up, and it has followed my call from last week almost perfectly to the T. 90% bullish on the community sentiment and on all the biggest exchanges. So the charts, what should we start with? Well, let's start with what we have drawn out. Okay, we have our daily fair value gap, and we have our buy side liquidity right over here, and we have our high over there also. We have a sell side liquidity that has been taken, so we can now get rid of that. And we had this sell side liquidity that has also been taken, but I will not be removing that because that is absolutely key. Now let's break it down. So last week, what did I say, right? Turbo was pumping. It was one of the only coins that were pumping the way it was. I think it was about 60 to 70%. Yep, 55. And then we had even more, almost 80%, right? And what did I say? You can watch my video to see that I'm saying the truth. I said, guys, don't buy up here. This is a strong zone. I don't think there's enough in the market just yet for price to get above it. And I think we're going to go back down into where this 4-hour fair value gap, right? As you can see right over here. And that's what it did, right? We traded down, and yes, we did close below, right? So a lot of you guys are going to say, oh, but we closed below. It is true. And a closure below could definitely entail a further push to the downside. But the market has been manipulated, right? And when we saw Bitcoin do this push right over here and manipulate the market and just take out liquidity, you could almost always assume that this manipulation will be rebalanced, and it simply did. So knowing that a rebalance is to happen, you can start to assume other things will happen, right? And on Bitcoin, I saw once this 4-hour fair value gap closed and we pushed above it, I thought that this was going to be the perfect opportunity to rebalance the market. And Turbo is one of those that pumped just the way Bitcoin pumped. Sometimes you have to look at other cryptos, other projects, things like Bitcoin, to see where the market is going towards. Now, will this always be the case? No. Especially during altcoin season. Things will change, but when that happens, we'll get there. Let's not discuss that yet, right? So I said, don't buy up here, wait for a retrace, buy up in this zone, and now you would have been looking pretty good, right? So cool. I predicted fairly right what happened last week. Now, what is my prediction? Okay. So we got this massive push up. We can see we tapped into the zone and we pushed down almost instantaneously, right? We were not able to push higher up before maybe pushing down. So what am I expecting? Let's go back onto the daily time frame. There's two scenarios I can see happening depending on how Bitcoin wants to play out. What would make sense to me is a sweep of this liquidity for Turbo before pushing down, right? Do I think we have enough buying pressure to break above it? At the current moment, not yet, because we can see this zone has been tested here, immediately pushed down, and now we have tested this, and as of right now, immediately pushed down. So it doesn't look like the buying pressure is there just yet. So I think we could be headed back into this zone. Now, once again, I will be telling people that this zone right over here is a fantastic buying opportunity. Do I think we're going to get down to the lows of here again? It's unlikely. Is it possible? Sure, anything is possible in the market, but we always have to be looking at what is probable. And to me, this is unlikely because we have already swept it and pushed higher up, and I don't think the market wants to go that low. So my 2 cents, sorry, I had a brain fart there, is that you would wait for this zone before investing, leverage trading, whatever it is that you are planning on doing, and then waiting for a push to the upside, right? And once we get our confirmation of a closure above this zone, then more likely than not, we are going to take out these equal highs and push even further up. Now, when that happens, we don't know. We're going to have to wait and see, adapt to the market. And I will, of course, be here to tell you when that happens and where I think the market is going to go. 2026 is going to be a very interesting year. I'm going to say this over and over again because I think altcoin season is going to come, right? And to me, these highs right over here look very, very juicy. Why? Because we took out previous liquidity here. We have now our hanging fruit, right? And it is in a demand zone that it tested previously. So I would think that is where we're going to go. Now, going from here to there, 200%, right? Do I think we're going to stop there? No. No, I do not. I think we're going to go higher up. And once we break above here, oh, the possibilities are endless, right? We can be seeing a lot of gains from Turbo during the altcoin season. So as of right now, I would say just to wait. And I know maybe some of you guys are going to say, wait, but the volume is so high in the last 24 hours. Yes, the volume is high. And the reason why it is high is because I think many people, once they saw a closure above here, they purchased for a gain, right? And I would not criticize you if you bought here, if you bought here, if you bought here. Why? Because I think Turbo is a strong project with a very good community backing it. And it is still at a discounted price, right? I don't think we're going to get down here, as you know. So anywhere in this zone is still a viable buying opportunity, right? Yes, maybe on the day you will be down a little bit because we're going to go back here. But all of that will accumulate once we start really pushing to the upside because, as we know, Turbo has been trending down, right? High, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low, lower, high. Trend to the downside. Very, very easy to spot out. What else can we look at? We can look at RSI. Not that. Not that. Get rid of this. Thank you. Let's pull up RSI again. So RSI on the weekly is at equilibrium, right? On the daily, however, we were slightly overbought, which would make sense if we push down a little bit into this 4-hour fair value gap before the real push to the upside. So if you guys enjoyed this quick little breakdown chart analysis on Turbo, like the video up, comment any questions, concerns, Turbo to the moon. Hit that subscribe button. It really does mean a lot to me. Make sure you guys do your own research because I am not a financial advisor, and I'll see everybody in the next video.